I've always had an appreciation for the history of the National Football League. And today, the class of 2000 has the good fortune of sharing the stage with the many great players who helped pave the way for not only today's inductees, but the many players who play the game today. A number of these great men influenced my career as a young man. Guys like Bob Lilly, Leroy Selman, Randy White, and Joe Green, and I even go as far back as Gino Marchetti. These were men I studied and I admired. I tried to take a piece of each and every one of their games and incorporate them into the way I played. Another player who influenced my career as a young player was a guy by the name of Joe Klecko. He made the Pro Bowl as a defensive end, a defensive tackle, and as a nose tackle. In my opinion, if it were not for an injury-shortened career, he might well be sitting behind me here today. Personally, it's very difficult to put into perspective what this means to me, this great honor. In the 80 years of the National Football League, over 18,000 men have played this game, many great players. Of those 18,000 plus players, 171 have ended up in this final glorious destination. Of those 171, only 7 have been defensive ends. I, for one, believe that being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is the most prestigious individual honor in all of sports. Baseball has been called America's pastime. And since my retirement through my 3 sons, I've come to appreciate the ability of baseball to bring families closer together, and in particular, fathers and sons. In my opinion, baseball is America's pastime, but football is truly America's passion. As Earl pointed out, I think back at the beginning of my career when a man named Al Davis drafted a kid out of Villanova in the 2nd round. And at that time, many of the football experts viewed that pick as a stretch, a reach, a surprise. But Al Davis saw something in me that many, including myself, did not. The Raiders were a team steeped in history. And from the moment I walked into the Raider camp, I could feel it. It was all around me. People who not only defined what the Raiders were about, but also defined what the National Football League was all about. John Madden, George Blanda, Ted Hendricks, Jim Otto, Willie Brown, Fred Biletnikoff, and Gene Upshaw and Art Shell helped bring me up. Then, of course, there was an owner named Al Davis, whose passion for winning was unparalleled in sports. So it's understandable that when you're around people like that on a daily basis, you allow yourself to dream just a little bit, albeit way in the back of your mind. Dream of someday maybe being one of them. But at that time, taking a place in football history with those great men was just a dream and nothing more. I am extremely proud to have been a Raider. I'm also proud to have played my entire career with the Raiders, something that rarely happens in today's game. And finally, to my family, who I love so much, our 3 sons, Christopher, Kyle, and Howie. Although I'm so proud that they are here to be a part of this amazing event, my relationship with them could not be any further removed from the world of football. So it's been extremely rewarding in the days leading up to today's inductions to watch their faces while they watch many different sports programs, in many cases for the first time seeing footage of their dad playing football. To watch their reactions, how proud and surprised they appear to be. To hear them say, "Wow, Dad, you were pretty good. You were tough too." That in and of itself eclipses any award that I can receive. For their love means more to me than anything in the world. I'm fading. My wife, Diane, who sacrificed so much for our children and me, who walked away from a career as a corporate litigator after our third son, Howie, was born, so that I could continue to pursue my dream. For 22 years, she has been my best friend, my biggest supporter, my biggest critic, my voice of reason, and my shrink. Her love for my three sons, her love for me, her selflessness, her compassion, her kindness challenged me to be a better father, a better husband, and a better person every day. I tell my boys how blessed we are to have her. In conclusion, I think back to something Earl Leggett said to me way back in 1981 when I first arrived at the Raiders. And keep in mind, I was not a very good football player when I did arrive there. He said, "Kid, if you work hard and you do what I tell you to do, I'll make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. And I'll make you a household name in every home in America." Well, Earl, we missed free agency by a few years. But I have to admit, it's a hell of a lot more famous than I could have ever dreamed. Thank you.